Hey, do you ever catch yourself changing your opinion mid-sentence just because someone raised an eyebrow? Or you post something online, something that you're actually quite proud of, and then minutes later, you're just second-guessing yourself, wondering if people are gonna like it, if people are gonna laugh, if people are gonna have some sort of opinion on it. Here's the truth behind all of that. And it's that caring about what other people think is the silent killer of your potential. And it's not something that's just annoying, it is dangerous to you. So how do you stop? And I don't just mean pretending that I don't care, but actually just not giving a toss. Let me show you, but don't expect any fluff, okay? We're getting into the real, messy and gritty stuff, because if you're still controlled by opinions, you're actually living someone else's life. So let's fix that. You know, most of us are wired to seek approval. You know, it's kind of in our biology, tribal survival and all that. But here's the real kicker. Psychologists actually say that we make up 80% of the negative things we think that others are thinking about us. 80%. And it's not even real. And yet, it feels real. That tightening in your chest when you walk into a room, the fake little smile when somebody judges you with their eyes, that little voice at the back of your head asking you, do I sound stupid? Do I look stupid? I shouldn't have done that, that was stupid. You wanna know why that voice is so loud and so common? It's because you've trained it to be that way. Every single time you silence yourself, every time you over-explain something, or you play small to make other people feel comfortable, you are feeding that voice. Here's another thing a lot of people don't actually realize, and it's that confidence isn't about being loud. Real confidence comes from being unapologetic. And that shift from needing permission to just owning your truth starts with one thing, and that is identity. But not the version of what other people see you as, the version you see when no one else is watching. Here's what I want you to do for your first shift to achieve that, okay? I want you to start choosing discomfort over approval. Not always, not in, massive ways, but in small but deliberate moments. Speak up when you feel resistance. Post the photo that you like, not the one that you think other people will like. Wear the outfit that makes you feel like you. Because every single time that you do that, even if it's uncomfortable or scary, you are rewiring your brain to believe this one important thing. My opinion matters. But that's just the start. That will give you momentum. It won't make you, bulletproof. Because I believe that the deeper fear isn't actually about rejection. It's something a little bit darker. And I'll tell you what I think in a second. But first, you need to truly understand what you're actually trying to protect here. So now, I want you to get really, really honest here, okay? Why do you care what they think? Because you want to be accepted? Because you're afraid of being judged? Or is it because you actually want to be loved, understood, and respected for who you truly are? That desire is human, but it can also be dangerous if you let it take over. Because we don't want to just be liked. We want to feel free. Free to say no without feeling guilt. Free to walk away from people who dim your light. Free to live without feeling like you have to perform every single day. Now, here's another scary truth, okay? People who chronically fear judgment have a 3 times higher risk of developing an anxiety disorder. 3 times. That's not just being awkward in public. That's your mental health on the line. So how do you become unshakable? You need to build something that most people never even think about. And I'm not talking about fake, I don't care energy, okay? But emotional authority. And the key to that, I'll give you a hint. It's not about becoming fearless. It's about becoming something much, much more sturdy than that. But before I tell you, let's talk about another thing no one ever really mentions. Most people try to stop caring about what other people think by suppressing it. They'll think, oh, I'll just stop worrying. I'll just do what I do. But what does that actually do? It just makes you lie to yourself. Quite literally makes you lie about what you're trying to achieve. So here's the second shift that's very important to become unshakable. Stop ignoring that fear and confront it at its source. You need to know whose opinion is affecting you the most. It's not just people, it's not everyone or the people outside. It is specific things and people. I want you to name them. Who's that one person that makes you feel like you're shrinking? Whose opinion still holds a weight over your choices? Because the truth is, until you identify that fear, you face the fear head on. You will just keep dragging it with yourself into every single situation you enter. Now, once you have that person in your mind, I want you to ask yourself one very important question, and that is, do I want their life? If the answer is no, then what does it matter what they think? You aren't trying to become like them. You aren't trying to live like them. So I want you to let that sit for a second, okay? Because you don't need to be fearless, okay? You just need to be crystal fucking clear about who you want to be. Think about who you are. Think about what you stand for and whose voice you'll actually allow into your mind. Because you're not born to please. You were born to live. Live loudly, fully, truthfully. So the next time that voice creeps in, just remember, those people that judge you, more often than not, they're actually scared to live life how they want to live. Don't shrink for anybody. Just continue to grow. Because the moment you stop caring about what other people think is the moment you start to become who you really are. And that is when everything changes. And if this hit home or you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you hit like and subscribe. And hopefully you stick around for the next one. We're gonna dig even deeper because you're not done yet. We are not done yet. Thank you and bye-bye.